All right. Okay. Shoot your best shot, woman.
All right. So I did have a question, and I don't know if you answered or not because my Wi-Fi is acting kind of weird. So I was kind of confused about the part where you were talking about Adam and where you were talking about Adam and you were saying that well, the Bible verse that refers to what was it again? Yeah, it talks about the
Genesis
man
one.
where Eve bore where Eve bore children. I
Yes.
forgot what that Bible verse was. That one was the one that kind of got me a
Yep.
little bit confused because I was confused about I don't know if it's just the wording or what.
But the wording says no, that he knew his wife.
Yeah, that he knew his wife. I'm like, so wouldn't that, and I wasn't trying to be a smart ass at all, but like, wasn't that, like, isn't that meant to be obvious? I guess I'm still confused about that part. Because obviously we knew that Adam and Eve were together, since,
Okay, now
you know,
you are smarter than odd Chaldean looks. If it says Adam knew his wife should get pregnant, what does no mean?
what do you mean? Like, obviously he knew. Oh,
What do you mean?
okay, so why would they, okay, never mind.
Because the word knew is a euphemism for sex.
Oh, see, I've never seen it be
Well, let
worded
me
like
break it
that.
down why. One of the most intimate, loving acts between husband and wife is sex.
Okay.
So God created sex between male and female in holy matrimony so that through this act, they will become one flesh and bind together, because the most intimate act you can have with a male who's your husband is the sexual act. In that act, you become one. And the proof that you become one is you produce a life that is you and your husband in one. That child is you and your husband. So God is saying the way a male and female bond and become inseparable is through this act of sex. But it's not just that. Obviously, there's companionship and friendship.
Mhm.
So the word "knew" is a euphemism to know someone intimately, know someone personally, know someone deeply. Well, in the physical world, in the physical realm, there is no more intimate bonding and intimate knowing than when a male and female come together in that act.
Okay. Okay. And then I guess that actually made a lot of sense.
Okay, well, watch this
My
before you ask me.
my
Before you
second
ask me.
question.
Hold on, before you
What?
ask me. Take it easy, sister. Take it easy, man. Before you ask me. 125. Oh, this translation sucks. All right. Translation sucks. Somebody translates bad. And then I got a mosquito. All right. So what I want you to do, watch here. It says, Joseph knew her not. He didn't know who Mary was until he took her to his house.
No.
Son about Joseph took Mary home and knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son. So he didn't know who Mary was until he took her home. How do you do? What's your name? Mary. Oh, nice to meet you.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'm assuming they're talking about like, you were not
He
to.
was
I
already
know her name.
engaged to her.
Yeah, I know.
It
So I'm
was,
assuming
he didn't know her.
I don't know. That wording is weird. I know it's talking about intimacy, but that's just the wording is a little weird for me. That's why.
Well, maybe because you're weird because you have a limited vocabulary.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. So you got it?
Yeah.
So you caught that?
Yes, I do.
So any other questions?
Uh, yeah. So I know in the other passage that you have shown it talked about Yahweh. How
Mhm.
come in today like we don't really hear that too much?
Because in your modern Bible translations, the form of the divine name virtually doesn't appear anywhere. If you go to your Old Testament Bible, it's written in Hebrew, right? And parts of it in Aramaic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in the Hebrew, over 6,800 times, this divine name, Yahweh, appears. Over 6,800 times. It's represented by four letters. because remember, I told you this yesterday. The Hebrew of the Old Testament was written with consonants. Vowel markings was added later, right?
Yes.
So in Hebrew, the 4 letters, Yud, He, Wa, He. Yud, He, I'm going to show it you on screen. Yud, He, some will pronounce it H-E-H, I'll just do that way. Wa, He, I'm going to show it to you on the screen. Now, later Hebrew, the Wa becomes a Vav. These 4 letters appear over 6,800 times. Right?
Okay.
Right? Guys, wait, I'm going to get to you. Just take it easy. Now, how do you pronounce this? Well, finally I got this bastard, mosquito. I finally got Muhammad. Some will pronounce it Yahweh, Yahweh, Yhwh, from which you get Jehovah. This name appears more so for God than any other name. Are you with me so far?
Yes. Yes, I am.
But you haven't seen it. Why? Let me show you why you haven't seen it. Ready?
Okay.
Because you're reading translations where they don't translate these 4 letters as Jehovah or as Yahweh or Yahweh or Yehovah. They use a substitute. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Legacy Standard Bible, Jerusalem Bible, New Jerusalem Bible, American Standard Version, World English Bible, they all use a form of the name. So in their Bibles, you'll see either Jehovah or Yahweh. All other Bibles, if you're reading NIV, New International Version, or you're reading Revised Standard Version, they don't use any form of the name. They use the word Lord instead. So follow me so I can show you. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Watch here. Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our God. Yahweh is one. Now watch. This is like a standard Bible because they will use the word Yahweh for the divine name when it appears in the Old Testament over 6,800 times. Now, I click here. Watch how other translations render it. Hear, Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. But now watch this translation. Hear, Israel, Jehovah our God is one Jehovah. Okay, you see what's happening here?
Yes.
All right. Why Lord in all these other translations? Notice every other translation says Lord, Lord. This one will give you Adonai. Now notice how many translations say Lord. Okay, count. How many will say Jehovah or Yahweh? Okay, here it says Jehovah. That's one. Now count. Every other translation says Lord, right? Darby says Jehovah. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, look at how many translations don't have the word Jehovah or Yahweh. It's only Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seeing it?
Yes.
But now, Legacy Standard Bible, the one I read, Yahweh is our God, Yahweh is one. This one, Lexham English Bible, says Yahweh. Now, here, this translation, Living Bible, over here it says Jehovah. But now count how many don't use that word. Names of God, Yahweh, but this one is Lord. 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 Adonai. All right, but here's another one that will use Yahweh. World English Bible, Yahweh. So the reason why you don't see either Yahweh or Jehovah is because the majority of translations substitute it with the word Lord.
Okay.
So that's why most Christians don't know God has a personal name. So if I ask you, what is God's personal name? He's got a name. What is it?
Yeah, Yahweh.
But prior to this session, did you know that?
I've heard of it, but I wasn't too familiar. I just wasn't sure where it came from because I've heard both of them. I've heard Jehovah before by
Even
Protestants.
Jehovah. Because
Yeah.
the word Jesus is simply anglicized of the Greek word Jesus and Hebrew Yeshua. So why do you call him Jesus? Because that's the English way of saying it. Jesus. Jeremiah. But the J, there is no J in Hebrew or in Greek. In fact, J was simply a variant of I up until the 17th century. J was pronounced as an I. I'll prove it to you. You're Spanish, right?
Yes,
Jesus. How do you spell Jesus?
with the J.
Oh, but I thought J is Ja. So why are you spelling with a J? Isn't that Jesus?
No,
What?
you can still spell yeah, you can still spell Jesus with the J. Yeah,
Why? J is a J. It's a Ja. Or about Jose? How do you spell Jose?
same thing with J. Yeah, same thing with the J.
So what? You see what you're proving to me?
Yes.
You're proving to me that J, even in Hispanic language, is not pronounced Ja. It's pronounced Jesus. Similarly, up until the 17th century, J was pronounced as I.
Interesting.
You got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Now, here's another thing. Most English translations will let you know that they're using the word Lord as a replacement for Jehovah. You know how you know?
I
How
don't
do you
know.
know that when your English Bible doesn't use the word Jehovah, uses the word Lord, that it's telling you here in the Hebrew, it's the word Jehovah, but we're translating as Lord? How do you know?
Are you talking about like distinguishing whether it has it or not?
Okay, sister, the word Lord, how do you know it means Jehovah when you're reading it in your Bible?
Because of its
Because the
spelling?
word Lord doesn't always refer to Jehovah. The word Lord can also mean master. So how do you know when in your English Bible, the word Lord is referring to Jehovah? That it's being used for Jehovah?
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Did you notice something here? The word Lord is all capitals.
Yes.
Capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D.
Yes.
That's how they tell you.
Oh, okay, okay.
When they put the word Lord in all capitals, small font, all capitals, they're telling you that here we're putting in capitals to get your attention that here the word Lord is being used for Jehovah or Yahweh, the name.
Oh, okay, okay.
Most translation will do that. Others may not do that. But always notice if it's all capitals, oh, that means Hebrew has Jehovah, has Yahweh.
Okay, okay.
You got this?
That makes sense. Yes, that makes a lot of sense
Do you
actually.
have any more questions or you're okay?
I'm okay. Yeah.